Board of Adjustment, 35 years, they never missed a meeting. Never missed a meeting. All our folks come and go too. And you know what? John said he wants to make the run smooth. He was there, I talked about himself for an hour.
I now call this meeting of the Franklin County Board of Commissioners to order. The first item on our agenda is our Pledge of Allegiance. If you will, I'm going to ask Mr. Trout to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Item number 1 is our consent agenda. What is the pleasure of the board?
Motion made.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Number 2, comments from the public. This is a time set aside by the Board of Commissioners to allow individuals 5 minutes to each to address the board on issues concerning the county. The total time set aside for public comments is 30 minutes. As I call your name, please come forward and state your name and address for the clerk, and we'll yield 5 minutes to you. Rosemary Champion.
Good evening. Rosemary Champion, 1168 White Level Road, Lewisburg, North Carolina. Good evening. The county has spent taxpayers' money and many, many man-hours on studies to plan for the future growth of Franklin County. I know of at least 4 studies in the last 10 years. The comprehensive plan that was done in 2020 called Franklin Next, A Path to a Smart Future, combines three of these. This plan took 12 months to complete and is 169 pages long. 49% of residents said that parks and recreation are essential county services. 51% of residents are dissatisfied with the variety of programs offered. 69% of households have a desire to use parks and rec facilities to meet their health and wellness needs. The highest priorities for facilities and amenities was in aquatic and swim facilities. The 10-year CIP master plan reflects these values and commitments. It includes $650,000 for a central community center, $500,000 for a west community center. Also included is $1 million for a splash pad. Planning and design, along with land acquisition, were a separate line item on this study. There has been talk in the county for years about a Y. A Y would not meet these needs. We need something that is accessible to all residents. The annual monthly fee for a Y verifies for a Y is anywhere from $100 to $200, along with an initial initiation fee. And I checked with Vance, Nash, Johnston, and Wake, and the monthly fee for the family membership. So you're talking about possibly $1,200 for a senior, and you know it's just too much. It's too much for people on a fixed income. Our school teams would not be able to use these facilities for practices and meets. If doctors wanted to refer their patients, the patients would have to become a member. As far as I know, the majority of counties that have Ys had a community pool first. I urge you to take the data and commitment made in this plan, Franklin Next, and invest in our community. Together we can plan for our future. Trust your study and trust your residents. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Champion. The next person on our list is Dee Sands.
D. Sams, 635 Lake Royale, Lewisburg, 27549. Usual, I want to advocate for the animals in the county. I am working on something on a statewide level, but there's no reason, you know, the smaller the government, the more nimble it is. So we can do this in Franklin County and save the county a lot of money and a lot of misery. I want to speak to the shelter just briefly. I started volunteering out there years ago when Taylor Bartholomew was the director. He did a lot of good things. He busted up a lot of rooster fighting rings and dog fighting rings. He advanced the shelter. Lynn advanced the shelter. Everybody's brought it up. Jerry's doing a good job bringing it up and getting things where they should be. The staff, I don't know how much they're paid, honestly, but I think they should be well paid. That is a very tough job, a very depressing job. The stuff they see, the stuff they have to deal with, the upset people that they have to deal with when it comes to people's animals. That job, animal control officer, has the highest suicide rate of all jobs. So that to me was pretty shocking. But having volunteered there for 7 years, and all I was doing a deep clean in the cat room, dishes, laundry, mopping, you know, that kind of thing. Not having to deal with the really hard stuff. And just anything we can do to improve their lives and pay them well so we get better people is really important. What I'm proposing with the state, and of course the counties can do it county by county too, is basically the same format of what Illinois has done. A lot of your northeastern states have implemented laws that require owned pets to spay and neuter their pets, at least by 6 months old. Dogs and cats can get pregnant sometimes as low as 4 months old. By doing this, they've reduced their populations. A friend of mine moved down here from Boston. She said, we've got these big, beautiful shelters, and they're almost empty. And I started researching this years ago. I was like, what are they doing that other states are not doing? They are much better about getting their dogs and cats spayed and neutered. So, and just so you know, those of you that don't know me, I don't just talk about it. I've been doing this ever since I moved here, moved into Franklinton. I started trapping and neutering feral cats. I still do that. I just set traps in Youngsville today. I volunteered at the shelter my day off every Monday. I was there at 8 o'clock when the staff would get there and just clean as fast as you can so it would be clean when they opened at 10 o'clock. I'm also a foster and do supply drives with Paws for Life. And see, I've done that for about 10 years. So kitten bottle babies, you're up in the middle of the night warming a bottle just like a baby. You know, we cannot adopt our way out of the mess that we're in. Lewisburg in particular is rampant with feral cats. That's kind of another side issue here. Nobody owns them. But what this law deals with is owned dogs and cats, and there is a carve out for hunting dogs. I don't see hunting dogs as a big problem. Breeds also, if somebody is a breeder, then they need to show that their dog is registered with, the Poodle Association or whatever, the AKC. So these dogs are registered, and before they're allowed to breed in our county, they need to be inspected by the sheriff and an animal control officer and be certified, be registered. I think pay like a $600 a year fee. So it's not exorbitant, but it's not, $30 to offset the cost. They need to also be inspected quarterly so that you're just making sure everything's okay, because you do get, I've seen it, everything from horses to, I hate to say, cat people, which I'm one of them, a lot of craziness. And you've got to keep a tab on that. You've got to kind of watch over them. So breeding, that there's a carve out for that. But if you own a cat or dog or goes out of the shelter, according to how Illinois does it, that cat or dog has got to be fixed before it leaves the shelter. You do run into an age issue sometimes with puppies and kittens. If they're too young, it's not
Mr. Chairman?
healthy.
Make a motion, we extend our session. Second.
There's a
So-
motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank
All
you. And I'll
opposed?
No.
I'll wrap up quickly.
Hang on,
But yeah, I want to give you each
just
a,
hang on for a second.
Oh.
Was that, did the ayes have it?
The ayes have it, yes.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Been a long time since I've been to one of these. I want to give you a handout, and it goes over the Illinois, and I apologize, there's no way I could format it. It cuts off some of what their law is, but you can go online and look this up, and it's very simple and very logical. I don't like complicated laws. I don't like overregulated laws. I did add an amendment to it. I think we've got a tying out of dogs problem, and again, there's a carve out to me for hunting dogs, for hounds, and pit bulls are not hunting dogs, but to live your whole life on a chain, tied outside in all weather is just not acceptable. And that has to change. We have to change that culture. But this will prevent a lot of puppies and kittens coming into the shelter. It will not be perfect. You'll never have 100% of people that spay and neuter their animals. But what this does is it gives animal control officers and police a law to fall back on. And I'll tell you a story of something that happened when I volunteered at the shelter. Taylor was telling me that he said, we've got this one woman that continually brings litters of puppies in. And he told her, he said, I will come to your house. I will pick up the dog. I will pay to get it spayed. I'll bring it back to you. She said, no. This is the attitude that you run into with people. There was nothing he could do legally. There's no law against just letting your dog breed until it literally dies of it, which does happen. So this would give them a reason to say, yeah, we can seize the dog, we can fine you. You know, now it's not just a hopeless case of an endless loop of puppies and kittens and stray dogs and cats coming into the shelter. We've got to get ahead of it. Otherwise, we're going to have to expand that shelter, at least double it. And the cost of doubling that shelter, hiring more people, more trucks, more pay, more retirement benefits, health benefits, the cost of that, as opposed to just implementing a simple law that requires people to spay and neuter their dogs and cats and not tie them outside 24/7, makes things a lot better for the animals and a lot better for the people that work at the shelters. Also, North Carolina, over the last 10 years, and I didn't go back farther than that, we always rank anywhere from 4th to 2nd in all 50 states of the highest euthanasia rates. And that's hard on that staff. That's a hard thing for them to have to deal with. So just want to hand this out to you, and you can all.
You just bring it to the clerk. She can make sure. Yeah, you can just leave them.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate you all.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. The next person we have is Krista Duncan.
Good evening. Krista Duncan, 834 Duke Valentine Wynn Road in Lewisburg. I wanted to just thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. And I want to start off by thanking Commissioner Speed for asking citizens on Facebook last month what facilities and services we're most interested in seeing for the county. There were lots of good ideas recommended, including a large sports multiplex, an indoor and outdoor pool, as was spoken to earlier, dedicated art space, county fairgrounds, more parks and open spaces to address the explosion of the housing developments we have, and also for our vulnerable citizens, a homeless shelter. One of the suggestions I made was public transparency. This meeting right now is being live streamed, and I think that all open public meetings and board meetings for the county should also be live streamed. Of course, on that comment or post that Mark put up, I focused most of my input on the animal welfare issues. We need to tackle the root of our animal crisis, including a comprehensive public education campaign and the need for access to low-cost, high-volume spay and neuter clinics. I recently addressed this with a post on my own Facebook profile, so I'm just going to read that to you now. Did you know that your tax money is being used to kill adoptable animals at Franklin County Animal Shelter? It's been 7 months since the interim shelter manager has been hired, and we still do not have a volunteer program. The county has not even advertised a permanent shelter director position. An outreach coordinator position was created and funded by the commissioners, and thank you all for that. We have already been through 2 employees that were hired and then quit in a short period of time. Our 3rd applicant was hired and began in the middle of March, so we're told to give it time. Money was allocated for animal services staff to spay and neuter pets before they are adopted out, but very little of this, has been happening. Sorry, I lost my spot. Technical difficulties. Okay. So money was allocated, I said for spay and neuter, and also for the community cat program referred to as TNVR, which is trap, neuter, vaccinate, and release, to curb the population explosion of the feral cat colonies that are cared for by community members. Instead, it seems that that these cats are rounded up and killed, and then the county has to pay to dispose of them, and the dogs that are killed too. There has been a lack of outreach to approved rescue partners, so animals are killed without rescues being told they are at risk. Shelter hours are still inconvenient for working families. Many concerned citizens have suggested improvements and solutions for years. Pointing fingers and having government throw money at the problem solves nothing. We need to work together. A timeline of goals, both short and long term, needs to be developed with a working plan to achieve them. There should be accountability if they are not met. There are a few key issues that would address some of the county's animal problems. One of them is leadership committed to saving all adoptable animals. Leadership that is proactive and willing to listen to community input. Leaders who not only recognize the problems, but believe that we can do better by changing how things currently operate. A leader who can take action and not continue to claim we are working on it. Number two, we need greater access to low-cost, high-volume spay and neuter clinics. Many such programs have folded, and voucher programs can only take us so far. The county, this phone is killing me. The county should seek to build a clinic, perhaps by recruiting veterinarians to this area or partnering with local colleges and universities that have animal care curriculums. Community engagement. Animals don't belong to the county or to the shelter. They belong to the citizens and our
Chairman?
community.
I'd like to make a motion, we extend our session.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
No.
The ayes have it.
Thank you. So our shelter should be inviting citizens in and making this shelter a community resource, not a last resort that people dread to talk about or bring an animal to. If you agree with these things, I'd like to ask you to join us in partnering with county officials to turn this broken system around. You can attend county commissioners meetings like tonight and speak for the need for change. You can also attend Animal Service Advisory Board meetings on the last Monday of each month. You can ask questions and request full transparency. Animals that end up in the shelter have been failed by their humans, often multiple times, but it's not their fault. They want to live and be loved. They want nourishment and shelter and kind human companionship. They need a commitment from their owners to have all of that for their entire lives, not until it's no longer convenient. Educating the public on animal welfare issues is going to play a huge role. If you think the situation needs improvement and somebody should do something, then I invite you to be that somebody. There are lots of ways to help. Just ask. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Duncan. That concludes our public comments from tonight. Item number 3 on our agenda is other business. Is there any other business that needs to be brought before this board tonight?
I just had one question
Yes, sir.
on our Board of Equalization and Review.
Yes, sir.
What are the dates of that?
The dates hadn't been set just yet, but we're supposed to bring it call it to order at our next meeting,
Okay,
and then we'll be setting our dates.
then
from
we'll get
there.
ready.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I understand our tax collector is still working on making some of our taxpayers happy.
Okay, sure. Right, we're getting stuff straightened out.
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Right, where there's been mistakes made. So that's going to be April 21st,
Yes,
our
sir.
next meeting. We're going to
Next
set the
meeting.
dates. Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I have an appointment, to the Animal Advisory Board. I would like to appoint Jeremy Neal to the
Good.
Animal Advisory Board.
That in the form of a motion? All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Okay, any other business tonight? Hearing none, we're gonna move on to item number 4, which is board manager and clerk's comments. Madam Attorney, you have any comments?
No comment.
Okay, Madam Clerk? Mr. Boyd?
I just had one other thing I wanted to comment on here lately.
I read it in the Franklin Times last issue and everything concerning the driver's license renewal office. I'm one of them ones that's been in the line over there. I'm one of them ones that's been parking on the side streets because the parking lot for that facility is just crammed full. So I had to park down a ways down towards the Farm Bureau. But I got plenty of ways off the road, so I wasn't endangering the public. And I sat in there about 2 or 3 hours. I had to leave. I have to work. A lot of things to do. And there's like 40, 50 people in there and only 2 workers. And it was just really depressing sitting there in a slow moving line. Kind of takes me back to the days when Commissioner Speed was running that. Never had that problem. He was the only one working there too. He got him in and got him out quick. But anyway, getting beside that, I've had my driver's license now since 1972. And I renew it every November 3rd. And this is the only time since 72 my license isn't any good no more. Because I haven't been able to get it renewed. So don't tell nobody that, but. But anyway, it's really a shame and really disgrace to have to do that. I see where it was mentioned, and maybe the driver's license office might be extending their hours. And I don't know if that's going to be a fix-all. My first guess, maybe get it changed on the regulations where people could automatically just get them renewed just as soon as they get in there, to get them out, to help with the backlog and people having a hard time with getting their driver's license renewed. Need to do something, because most people working don't have time to sit there all day. And I hope something's done about that. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Foy. Mr. Davis?
Yeah, just turn this here. I just wanted to tell I feel like a broken record a little bit, but we had a little family. My wife was in an accident a couple weeks ago. Matt, I wanted to tell you that your 2 paramedics, EMTs, not sure what it was, they did a fantastic job again. Chief Brian, thank you so much. He was on site as well. Everybody handled themselves incredibly professionally and very helpful. So I apologize. I meant to reach out to you and get those 2 text names, and I didn't do it. So I'd like to get their names at some point. So wanted to say that. And then also we did meet. I know I don't have an update yet. We're still working through some things. Commissioner Bragg and Commissioner May and myself, along with Ryan and several other, Matt, we did meet reviewing the EMS transport policy. So we're working through some of those things. We'll hopefully bring you guys an update, bring the public an update at some point in the next meeting or 2. So we're just working through some of those things. So that definitely on the radar and definitely moving and reviewing that stuff. So other than that.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Mr. Schreiber?
Like Commissioner Foy, I had the same problem. Must have been there on different days. And a friend of mine, I was complaining the next day and said, you just need to go online and you can schedule an appointment. So I did that. It was 6 weeks out. But I will say, literally, my appointment was say it was at 10:15. I got there at 10:10. I checked in, and at 10:31, I was walking out the door. So that is wonderful. So if you do have it coming, you know what's coming. You can go right online. It's super easy. Schedule your next available appointment, and it is. I'd encourage you to do it if you
Okay.
haven't.
I didn't even know that was available.
Yeah,
I'll get an
yeah, I didn't either.
appointment
I
online.
was fussing to somebody, and they got me out of the dark ages and told me about this new thing called an appointment. So it worked out really well.
Well, good.
Yes, sir.
That's guaranteed.
Yeah, well, nothing's guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed, right? But that was my experience in March this month.
Yeah.
And so that was positive.
Well, good.
So yeah, that's pretty awesome. That's not.
Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. May?
Yes, sir. First of all, I'd like to congratulate Scott there. He's gonna make us a good assistant county manager. Worked with him for a long time. I know he's got it going on. And his second of all, I went on this tour with the Public Utilities Tour with Mr. Chris Daugherty, Logan Davis, and Gina McGray. Very interesting tour. We were talking about the number 1s and 2s of the county. And I'd just like to say thank you, Chris. Learn a whole lot.
All right, Mr. Speed.
Yes, I, recently, although in a small way, participated in the search and rescue and recovery, during a recent tragedy. Young man's life, a child's life was claimed by Tar River. And, you know, I witnessed something that I had never seen before, and that was a massive joint effort by a lot of people and a lot of agencies. And I would just like to recognize all of these people and agencies, and I apologize for being kind of lengthy, but it is a lot. We had Bunn Volunteer Fire Department, Centerville Volunteer Fire Department, Chick-fil-A of Wake Forest, Epsom Volunteer Fire Department, Franklin County Department of Social Services, Franklin County Emergency Management Department, Franklin County EMS, Franklin County Fire Marshal Office, Franklin County Sheriff's Department, Hilo and Sub, Henderson Police Department, Jersey Mikes of Lewisburg, Justice Towing. Forgive me, I lost my place. Lewisburg Fire Department, Miss Betty Ann, a property owner, Mitchner's Crossroads Volunteer Fire Department, Mr. Ronnie Beckham, property owner, Nash County Sheriff's Department, North Carolina Division of Emergency Management, North Carolina Forestry Service, North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation, North Carolina State Highway Patrol, North Carolina Task Force 8, Roanoke Wildwood Volunteer Fire Department, Rocky Mount Swift Water Rescue, SKS Solutions, Town of Lewisburg, Vance County Rescue Squad, Vance County Sheriff's Department, Wake Forest Water Rescue, Warren County Emergency Medical Services, White Level Volunteer Fire Department, Youngsville Community Emergency Response Team, Youngsville Dive Team, Youngsville Volunteer Fire Department, and Bunn Community Emergency Response Team. And I'd like to thank all of these agencies and people for your efforts. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Bragg?
I've been busy, as usual. Stuart also we went to the groundbreaking of the new building over in the park located off of number 1 for the Eden building. And they have a building in Youngsville, but they're building a new one. I think they said it was 5,500 square feet, Stuart. Is that what they told us? It's the biggest building out there.
I looked at it in acres.
Acres, you did. It's several acres to it. It's huge. It's going to be humongous. It was a groundbreaking, and I believe they're going to store lithium batteries there, is what they talked about. So that's going to be a new business in Franklin County when it opens. I went to the Franklinton Town Board meeting, and it was a good meeting. Normal, nothing I need to report about probably there. We had a COG board meeting, and also on another day, the COG executive board meeting. And of course, as a commissioner, I'm appointed to serve there too. So I attended both of those meetings. We had a couple of ribbon cuttings, and well, several. There's like 3 in Franklinton. We have a new sports bar in Franklinton. It's Bleachers. And I'm going to tell you what, when I walked into it, I was like, this is in Franklin County? I am very impressed by that sports bar. So y'all ought to just, if you just walk in it, it's like 40 some TVs in there. And it has a rooftop bar, and then the food is very, very good in there too. So y'all need to try to go by there sometime. I also went to the ribbon cutting for Southern Serendipity, which is a store that you can take. It's for women. You can take your clothes and sell them, and then buy other clothes there. And they always have a very high-end clothes. But they've opened up another side for children. and they have children's clothes there. And I just think that is what we need in Franklin County. And over there, the prices were real good, and they had really great clothes for children. So it's no need to go and buy and pay lots and lots of money for clothes when you can go there and, you know, and get them. Let's see, what else did I do? A really neat thing I did, I attended the Franklinton Board of Chamber of Commerce this month, and it was held out on Mason Street. There's a place, and it's called Port Noir, that the guys, they have opened out there. They haven't opened it for business quite yet, but when they do, it's going to be amazing. It's in the forest, and they've got a mile or more of trails through the forest, and they have a lot of artwork on these trails. They have stations all along the trails. They have a whole group. If you go in a group, there's a group of hammocks, and you can all just sit out there and do whatever and relax on the hammocks. And I said, you know, people now, we grew up in the country. I live in a park. I tell people I live in a park. But there are people in these housing developments and subdivisions and stuff now that don't have a place to go and get the woods. And this is really in the woods. So it's right there on Mason Street, and it's really amazing too. And I told him, this is going to be a big business for them to do this, because people won't park, and this is a nature park and nature trails. And I just think it's amazing that they have. I was so tickled to tour that. I did attend the EMS meeting that he's already mentioned, Logan has, and I'm excited about the things that we've discussed and we're looking at and talking about with it. I think we're making some headway with the EMS and some of the issues there. I'm real excited about that. I think lastly, there's a new program at the Franklinton Elementary School that I went to their ribbon cutting to, and it's part of Smart Start. And Smart Start's been around since I can remember, because when I worked with the Department of Aging, we did a lot with Smart Start. And it's for children who are like before kindergarten and kindergarten children to go and start in preschool types of things. And this is going to be in conjunction with the school system and with the Franklinton Elementary School. And one of the things stressed is trying to help the parents to realize that they need to assist their children in homework and not just send it and let the teachers take it and do everything. That they have responsibilities at home also with the students, which I support that, and I think that's a really good, going to be a very good program at Franklinton Elementary School. And I think I've done a lot. I think that's all we'll report.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Bragg. Brian Prep.
Well, I just wanted to recognize our new Assistant County Manager, Scott Hammerbacher, who's hit the ground running. It's been a whole week. And I certainly appreciate his expertise, and really looking forward to working together and working on some projects together and working through some things. So, Scott, I appreciate it, and welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's all I had, Chair.
Oh, yeah, okay. That brings us to item number 5 on our agenda, which is closed session. The board is asked to enter into closed session pursuant to following North Carolina general statutes. NCGS 143-318.11A3, attorney-client privilege communication, and NCGS 143-318.11A6, personnel. What's the pleasure of the board?
So moved.
Have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
No.
Motion carries.
You sure that?